I was talking to him one day and I was telling him, and he said, well, the wolf will always let one sheep go if by getting rid of that one sheep, he could slaughter the thousands. Here I was thinking about, I'm going to get home and I'm going to take off like a rocket. Because I done figured it out. I done figured out the keys to open up the gates. Because I was in prison when I was in the streets. I ain't just end up in prison when I was locked up. When I was in the streets, I was trapped. But I figured out the keys to open up all these doors, and I was gonna bust open the doors of life and get to living. And I was talking to him one day, an old bishop, and he said, the wolf will always let one sheep get away if by getting rid of that one sheep, he could slaughter the thousands. See, I had stumbled across this level of understanding that most people in my community never come across. We stay lost for so long. But then I stumbled across it, and I've obtained a good amount of it, not all of it, but a good amount of it. And for all that I've obtained, I'm going to shoot off now. Well, I'm taking off the keys with me. And now that I'm gone, it's more easy to slaughter them. I was never taught to run from a fight. When he said that to me, I got convicted. I'm thinking like, if I run off, I'm a coward. I was taught don't leave your people in no fight. Right now, my people in the fight of their lives. Nah, this energy I got, this understanding I got, I'm going back to the neighborhood and we're gonna see about this thing. Yeah. So that made me look differently on what we consider to be success, Then another thing he said, and it's totally some church stuff, but it taught me about wealth. He said, we was talking about the 10% rule, where you tithe. And I'm not a religious person. I didn't necessarily, we were just going back and forth. And he was like, 10% rule. See, that's stupid. See, what y'all got to do, he said, y'all folks, y'all keep operating that dumb spirit. He said, how are you practicing in the Christian faith, and in the Christian faith, you're trying to be more Christ-like? But get it, Christ tells you that, give me the 10%, you take the 90. Meaning all I need is the 10%. I'll operate off the 10, you operate off the 90. What he's saying is that his principles of operating are so intact that he could function off the 10, but he knows you need the most of it to function. You take the 90. Yet when we say we're operating like Christ-like, we struggle to give up the 10. No, forget struggling to give up the 10. If you really want to operate Christ-like, you function with the 10, give up the 90. Right? So then I'm listening to this guy and I'm like, well, here's the deal. When your principles are intact in life, do you know there's a way you could live the way you never lose a dollar? There's a way you could live, right? Let's just look at taxes. And this is a rough explanation of taxes. Obviously, taxes are complicated. But I'm giving a basic, really raw and unintelligent explanation of taxes, right? The way taxes work, if you open up when you bring in earnings, they tax it. Yeah. Only if those earnings are being spent on you. Now, if you bring in earnings and then you spend those earnings growing businesses, building homes, building communities, building anything you're spending that's growing the world around you, we don't tax you for that. Here's the crazier part of it. So now already we're establishing a principle in life that as long as you're taking your energy, because that's what money equates to, is potential energy that has been stored up into this thing. Because remember, that's what you do, like it's just energy. When you go to Burger King, you're not giving $5 for a Happy Meal. For the meat, you're giving $5 for the energy that it takes to cook it, package it, the people that's back there working. When you give them $5, that's a note that says, I gave this amount of energy somewhere else in the world, which is why I got this $5 now harnessed in this. This is energy that I gave in the world somewhere else to help things happen. But now I've got it harnessed here and I'm going to give it to you. And the reason why you're able to work for me and give me that burger is because I gave this same amount of energy somewhere else to help the world move. So as long as we're all giving to the world, making it move, we can move around these notes that shows who's been participating in a way that society says is valuable, and who hasn't been. So that's all money is measuring, right? So we've already established a principle, right? That when you are operating with your energy and your dollars, which is just a harnessing of energy, that as long as you're putting that out towards the good of the world around you, you get a break. The minute you start saying, well, I need this for me, I need this for me, whether it's clothes, whatever it is, as long as you're doing it for you, we're going to chop that hand off, keep some of that in the economy so we can keep this thing rolling, right? It's only when you're taking for you that you get chopped off at the hills. That's why people that learn how to do the funky tax breaks, they cheat. They learn manipulative ways of acting like they're giving and building when they're really not. But no matter what, that's the basic principle. Now also think about this. The difference between assets and liabilities. What the dude on Baby Boy was talking about guns and butter, right? The things that you buy per se that are like a house. Get this. You spend $200,000 on a house. You got the house. You live in the house. You're using the house. You spent the $200,000. Are the $200,000 gone?
No.
Why?
Because you traded it for a house now.
And now the equity exists in your house. Yeah. You could take that equity to the bank and move that, and then you still get to live in the house. Yeah. These things are like purses. You ever had a purse where you put the money in the purse, the money's still in the purse, but you get to carry the purse, but a house is like a purse. If I want to take $250,000 and put it into a house, it's just a purse. The money's still mine, and I get to live in a house, right? But I get to move that equity and do other things with it. There are things that you can do to where you spend your money, and the money's still yours, yet you spent it, but you get the use of the thing that you spent it on. So for those people who need for self, if you did it in accordance with the longer plan, remember, seeing past your nose, anything, even if you're doing the clothes that you buy, if you just want to go to the mall and buy clothes, chop your hand off. Now, if you got a business that deals in this, that, and the third, and you need clothes for this, you didn't just go get the clothes, you put a plan in place of how these clothes are benefiting society, and you just put it on paper. And now it's a tax thing for it, and now it's whatever. Now you go buy the same thing, but you didn't just go get it because you wanted it. You went and got it because you had sat down and thought out long enough and far enough about how I'm going to turn this energy into something that benefits society. Oh, you can keep your money. So listen to what I'm saying. When your principles are intact, and we can go through this all day. Yeah. When your principles are intact, if you were really living a 100% righteous life, there's an idea that suggests that every penny you'd ever gotten would still be yours. Now imagine if every penny you had ever gotten was still yours. Even at this point right now, you'd be, but it's just about principles. When you're living like that, you can operate off the 10% and let everybody else have the 90.
And I mean, it's another comment for another day. I don't want to give my editor too much homework.
But when he hit me with that, not that I'm living that way. Sure. When he hit me with that, he was a guy that blew my mind every time we talked. Word. And when he hit me with that, I just had to shut up. Yeah. Like, yo, there's a way I can live my life that is literally wealthy. So all I do is build. I don't do nothing.
Also, you gotta live below your means. You know what I'm saying? Like, well, not below your means, but live with less materials. You see what I'm saying?
Well, less material for you.
Yeah, for yourself.
Because when you're doing a lot of stuff, you're gonna end up with a ton of materials.
For sure.
Like if you running businesses and you building farms and families and community, trust me, you're gonna have way more material than everybody else. Yeah. It just ain't for the purpose of you.
For sure.
Because remember, that's why the principle to he who has, much is given. To he who is given much, much is required. Yeah. And so when you're really doing the work, you're gonna be wealthy no matter what. You're gonna be filled with material and riches and food and whatever, but it ain't for you. The minute you start saying it's for you, it's because you're operating in need. You're trying to fill your own pain. This game ain't for that.
That's dope. Yeah, that's dope.
So just the fact that you can live like that and win and help people and grow things and never lose and just society is designed for the righteous.
That's dope. That's dope. Hey man, Jermaine McNair, man. I appreciate you, my man.
Hey look, and we ain't talked a piece about politics or nothing. No, just life.
Yeah, that's why I vibe with you. I ain't never talk politics. I don't even know what NCC was about for real. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what you about. Hey, I'm just talking.
Absolutely.
But I'm saying, like, we don't get into politics. You're a regular guy to me.
Absolutely.
But I highly respect you. I appreciate the convo, man. You know, it's always great when we get up with each other all the time anyway, man.
Yeah.
Let everybody know where they can find you on social media and stuff, man. How can people get in contact with you?
Yeah, man. Well, I don't play that. I'm not as good on social media. I'm heavy on Facebook, so you can always find me on Facebook, Jermaine McNair. No funky names. I am on Instagram, but I need to get more active. Sometimes it's my team on Instagram, and not me. But you know what I mean. But you could inbox me or what they call it when you DM me on Instagram, and I'll still get it. I read those, but we on Twitter, but I ain't really jumping up there, ain't active. But I'm always on West Side on 5th Street. My offices are over there, 800 West 5th, 800 West 5th Street. We got a couple of offices in that same space where the Gold Post Cafe is, where NAACP, Exceed, Mappin' just moved into the building. Yeah, they just moved in. They are new neighbors. Yeah, so we loving that. Yeah, I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna keep it honest, man. You could punch Jermaine McNair into Google and probably find my personal phone number up there.
That's a dope flex.
I mean, literally, it's because there ain't nothing about me private. You could literally punch Jermaine McNair into Google and probably find me.
That's a bet, man. Hey, man, those that are watching, make sure you subscribe to the channel, Your TV 252 on YouTube. Make sure you follow Jermaine McNair, man, as he progresses in his life, man. I really respect this guy, man. I follow everything he does. I check him out, even though I might not like everything. I follow everything you do. Everything you do, I'm on it.
All the time. And we need it, man. Stay tapped in, even when you ain't on the scene, please.
So, man, YourTV252.com. Go get you some merch. Stop trying to be cheap, bitch. Yeah.
What you doing, Quasi? Shit. Working on my bankroll. Trying to flip it cause I'm tired of the same old. Getting richer on these niggas, that's my main goal. That's my main goal. Shit. What you doing, Kelly?
Stacking, trying to lay low. My amigos say I'm at them brand new level. Know the devil